Hey, welcome back guys. So guess what? I'm here with Minnow, one of my mates, and he's thinking about buying a Denza B8. He's never seen it in the flesh, but we're about to go inside to the Denza Brisbane launch. Let's go. Tonight we're going to be having a look at the B5 and the B8, the Australian delivered models. Finally, we've ordered one. We've ordered a B8, Savage has anyway. Potentially we'll be ordering the B5 shortly. Just trying to convince my business partner to get rid of his Tank 300. So then we'll have a Tank 300, Tank 500, BYD Shark, BYD Seal. Got all the Chinese cars. Anyway, let's go in and check it out. Minna, what car is this? Do you even know what car this is behind the curtain, mate?
Oh, that is a Denza.
That is a Denza, is it?
That's what that is, man.
That's what a Denza is, eh? Do you even know what Denza is?
Denza is a luxurious BYD. It is like you take a BYD, make it even better than it already is, then you have a Denza.
That's it.
That's it.
You just went in your first BYD, how'd you think?
It's ridiculously fast and really quiet, really good stereo.
You like the karaoke feature?
The karaoke feature is a vibe. If you've got kids, 100%, definitely need that. I don't know, I'm interested to see this. I heard it has an aisle, which for my family is something that we really want. This is B5, so that's the B8 over there.
So this is the B8, as you can see it's a bit longer, but we'll get the covers off and we'll have a look. Look at that, B8 baby.
And it's my great pleasure to officially launch the Denza brand in Queensland, in Brisbane. So very exciting time.
Is it comfortable or what?
Oh, it's pretty comfortable. I like it's got the big center console, that's important.
Yeah,
right? Not going to be touching
What about
elbows.
the fridge? Is the fridge good?
It's got a fridge.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Yeah, so you can put it on heating, so it'll go heating, so...
We're not going to put it on heating, we want it on...
Look at that.
What does it go
down
down
to -6.
So it's technically freezer.
And... yeah, you can put it on heat.
How good's that? Does this turn or what? We want low?
You know the trick now, I've been teaching Minna how to swipe for the...
On the way here I learned about it and it's so hot in here I don't think the aircon's on, so I'm just quickly cooling down.
Put the aircon seats on.
How do I do that? Yeah.
There you go, aircon seats. Let's turn the brightness up, it's too dim in here. They're like scared they're going to flatten the battery. There you go, now you got... Check out the cameras, Minna.
Show me.
Let's have a look. Where's the camera button? I've got to find it. Oh, let's do sunroof ventilation.
It's got a big roof. Open it all the way.
Yeah, open all windows. Open all windows. Oops, and I'll kill some people. What else you got? Massage? Let's put your massage.
Show me.
Is that good?
Unbelievable.
Is it good?
It's only just started, but yeah. 50 watt charger, and I like how it actually holds the phone. That's good. So it can't 0 to 100, 5 seconds. Don't have to worry about the charger.
This retracts when you turn the car on and off.
I said I wasn't expecting it to like it as much as I do.
Why is that? Did you doubt the Chinese car still? Even though your best mate is like one of the biggest advocates for them. Minutes down the fridge, look at that.
I reckon you could probably fit like 8 600ml bottles in there. And even like the kids' juices, man.
How good's that?
That's not bad.
Not bad, eh?
Not bad. If you have a 7-seater and you got little kids, you got to worry about them kicking this. That's a real world problem.
But that's alright, because we just put a glass screen protector on it.
Alright, get it. We need a Savage Tech.
I'll sell that. Savage Tech, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. So it's got heaps of leg room, mate. Even with the seat upright, it's so much leg room.
Shade?
So how cool is this? So you press this button, right? And it goes through all the menu, and then your window up and down button will now control...
No, it's not the window one, it's the one behind it.
Oh, the one behind it will now control... Oh, I see. How cool is that? So let's go... Oh, you can do opposite window, sunshade. Let's do this. So ready? I'll close the sunshade from my door switch from here. How cool is that? You can do everything. You can control the opposite window.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the seats just like, oh, look at this.
Let me put your window up for you, man.
Is it on?
Put your window up for you, man.
To the hot box.
Hot box on.
Yeah, hot box.
Yeah, nice.
Promises.
Waigania. Huh? Hey? Oh, why you call it Waigania? So you're gonna buy it or what? Or you just look at us all of them? Okay, now it's quiet, we can talk. So, you wanted to come here, you got a LandCruiser 100 series, eh?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you had the 100 series for?
20 years.
20 years, and you love it, yes?
Yes.
Most PNG people love Toyota.
Oh, yes.
Okay, now what on earth are you doing here in a Chinese showroom?
Well, first of all, I mean, we've gone 20 years.
Yep.
And I haven't seen any technology in Toyota.
Okay. I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
I mean, 300 came out, and I actually put out something saying, oh, 300 looks really nice, but I can't see any technology in it. I mean, like
advancement.
What this one can offer. And that's probably what changes. You know, these days you need technology to do anything in the city.
Yep.
And if you're going to drive this car around the city, you need the technology to help you drive this car.
Yep, nice.
And in a 300, you can't get that. Sure, it's comfortable. I'm not saying it's not a bad car. It's really strong. I know I'm a Toyota man, but it's just the technology. Just
it's lacking
a little bit of
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons I just come down to have a look at this.
So you came here to look at the Bao 5, the smaller version.
Yeah.
And now, what's the reason you're looking at the Bao 8?
Well, the comfort. You know, I looked at the B5. It's okay. I mean, it can do the basic stuff that you want. It's just that the bigger one has more advanced technology.
So you're after the features, functions?
The features and the functions. This one's got a bigger 17.6 inches.
Yep.
And
the screen?
The screen. And the B5's got a 15.6.
Yes, which is the same size
so
as the Shark.
It's 2 inches shorter. Yeah, of course.
Okay, and everyone wants an extra 2 inches, eh?
Oh yeah. I mean, it does not make a difference, but you know, it's just the feeling, the taste of things that you want.
Once you're spending your money, you might as well.
That's right.
Yeah, you might as well get the best.
You know, if it's just going to be a few grands, I mean tens, I'd say.
Yeah.
A few tens, and if you can get the technology and it's going to last you like another 10, 15 years, that 20 grand is nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It pays off.
Exactly.
In the end,
so you're.
Though it'd be upfront, but you know, you enjoy the benefits right to the end.
And you're happy with the comfort in here?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's 100%.
Are you going to test drive it next week?
Yes, I booked in for Wednesday.
I'm booked in for Monday, 8 a.m.
Oh, you're lucky you got in early.
Yeah, because I booked in on Monday night. So So have you seen some of the features in the car? You know this gear stick, it goes down. Have you seen that?
Yes.
It's cool,
yes,
eh?
Yes. I
really
actually
cool.
like that.
And you like the fridge?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you can open it from the front and the back?
The back.
And another cool thing I found tonight that I didn't know is, did you see in the back, do you know what this button here at the back does? This one?
No, not
Okay,
really.
so this button here, when you press it, it changes the function on the screen. So there's another button behind it that's like, it's like a multi-switch. So when you press this button, you can either choose open the window, you can make the other button open the window, open the sunshade, switch music, comfort with one click. So this is like a multi-function, and you've got a screen here to tell you what your button is now doing. So you're like changing the up and down button to do multiple things.
Yep.
So it's like a menu button.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
So,
And then like I can go, so I can literally go here opposite window, and then now I'll control his window.
Right.
So I can now open his window from my side.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you're going for the 6-seater or the 7-seater?
I'll probably go for the 6.
6?
You know, I had this car for 20 years.
Yeah.
One car.
Yeah.
While all my friends, they change cars in like every 3 years.
Yeah.
And I had my 100 for 20 years.
Yeah.
And probably it's about time I go all out.
Meryl. Okay. Nice. Oh, well, nice chatting to you.
Yep, no worries.
And you're going to be on my YouTube channel, is that all right?
Oh,
yes.
No problem.
No problem. Okay,
if that is where you're going, I'm fine.
Because I got heaps of PNG fans too.
What's your YouTube channel?
Savage Tech Australia. You got nothing to hide. You're not hiding here in Australia, right?
No.
Peter O'Neill, your cousin, or?
No, maybe my tumble.
Oh well, so we're here in the back of the Denza, and we've just had a chat with one of my one-toks from Papua New Guinea, and he's going to trade his 100 series in for a Denza B8. So there you go, guys. Toyota owners are being converted. And what do you? What do you drive? A Raptor?
Hyundai, man.
And a Hyundai. You drive a Raptor, and your missus drives a Hyundai, and are you thinking about a B8?
Yes.
If you love your wife that much.
I love my wife a lot.
So are you going to buy her a B8?
If she likes it, yes.
So there you go, there you have it. We had a little chat to a previous Toyota customer, and his verdict is he likes the Denza B8. He came here for the B5, however he said, mate, the B8 is where it's at. So, and I would agree. I really like the B5, don't get me wrong. Very, very, very similar size to the Tank 300. The rear seat space is slightly bigger than the Tank 300. The boot space is slightly bigger than the Tank 300. So, if you're after a car that's luxurious, drives like an EV, but has the convenience of a hybrid engine, well, why not go for a Denza, mate? However, if you're after something that's a serious off-roader, okay, there's the Hi 4Z coming out in the Tank 300. So stay tuned for that. I own a Tank 300 in the petrol. It's been a great vehicle, taken me all sorts of places, got me in all sorts of strife and trouble, because the cars are really, really good off-road. However, we are about to find out whether the Denza series can conquer some of the tracks we have done in the Tank 300. So stay tuned, like and subscribe our channel. Hopefully, we get the B5 and we get the B8 and we get to do some crazy tracks in them. I don't know how hard I'm going to push the B8. It's a $106,000 car, but you never know. The B8's capable. It's twin locked, the top spec, the 6-seater, twin lock, low range. So let's see what it can do. Anyway, peace out. Have a good one. Like and subscribe. Yeah, so I'm just going to do a video on my opinion on like why I think the car's not overpriced, and you know why I think it's a good price point for what you're getting. I don't think it's extremely overpriced. There's nothing else in the market that sort of competes with it in that segment. You've got to remember, like, you know, everyone keeps comparing it to the Prado, everyone keeps comparing it to the Tank 300, everyone keeps comparing it to, you know, other vehicles that not even comparable. So I'm just going to give my opinion on why we're doing this, and yeah.
I think the reason that everyone's pissed is because of the comparison of the price in China versus
Correct. Which
they feel like they're being extorted, but it's not really, because this margin is probably the right margin a car company needs to make to be profitable, whereas in China it's just a fucking price war.
Exactly. Hey everyone, this is Everett, my cousin. He lives in Papua New Guinea and they run Pepsi in PNG. So he's just recently purchased a Denza B8 on Monday night with me with my Denza B8, and we've been having conversations back and forth. So he's a Toyota Prado owner and a Range Rover Sport owner in Australia. In PNG, they choose to drive your Toyotas because they are a very reliable car. Like, so most PNG people, their first choice of car in Papua New Guinea will be a Toyota. However, we've seen the market shifting now. I've spoken to someone else, I can't remember his name. Anyway, I've spoken to the customer last night at Denza, and he gave me his feedback on why he's going to be upgrading his 100 series with a Denza B8. But I'm just having a quick discussion with Everett, my cousin, on, he's been also following the Facebook B5, B8 Denza page, and there's been a bit of confusion on there with everyone arguing in their points. And I mean, everyone's point is valid, but I'm going to give my opinion. Everett's having a quick chat to me about it as well, and his opinion on why he thinks, you know, why the market is doing what it's doing, and in my opinion, why I think it's worth buying a Denza over, say, a Prado. But everyone keeps comparing it to Prado because it's the only, I guess it's the most well-known and renowned car on the road for a family. However, I don't think it's comparable. I just had a quick look at all the specs on the new 250 Prado, and there is massive differences between the cars. So straight up, not even going into the plug-in hybrid variant. A Prado is a mild hybrid variant, so there's there's a massive cost difference in obviously battery. There's a massive cost difference in the technology that goes into the Prado versus the Denza B8 or a B5. So you got to compare apples with apples. You can't compare, a little Hyundai XL to a new Hyundai. It's completely different vehicles. The technology that goes into the Denza vehicles is far superior over our Toyota Prado, and I know that's hard for people to stomach because they see it as just a Chinese car and it should be worth nothing. So Everett, what do you have to say about the Denza, and why do you think it's worth the money, and why have you bought a B8 over a Prado, since you've owned a Prado for the last 7 years, is that correct?
Yeah, my Prado I bought in 2018. But yeah, when the new Prado came, I was going to buy the new Prado, but I was pretty disgruntled when they launched the new one because, I mean, they basically just have the same car with, a little bit of tech inside. So it was pretty disappointing to see what was offered on the new Prado. I was after something more. They had the chance to step it up and meet the market like all the rest of the other car companies, and they didn't. They've just basically given out the same thing.
Yeah.
And for the price, I don't think it's worth it. I think, look, the thing with Toyota, I'm probably somebody who needs reliability the most living in Papua New Guinea with the roads here.
Yeah.
But with the Denza proposition, it just offers so much, right? Like what you get for the car and the price, it's just incredible.
And it's worth the risk for you to give it a go, isn't it? So
this is the thing, right? This is where you got to weigh it up, right? It's like, is it going to be reliable? It's it's not really tested yet because it's sort of a new car company. I think they released their first car in 2014. But I'm willing to give it a chance. Because for the price, I think you're just getting it at such a discount. And the reason it's at a discount is because Chinese car companies are new, and they probably will increase their price over time as they become more well-known and people accept them. I've seen a lot on the Facebook page of people complaining about the price, and specifically they're saying that why is it so cheap in China versus Australia? Like they feel like they're being hard done by. But you got to remember, in China, there's a price war going on.
Yeah.
And these car companies aren't making money.
It's not sustainable, 100%.
Car companies have to make money. They've got to be sustainable. Otherwise, they'll stop investing in R&D and they'll start shortcutting. So this is the model. They make money overseas where it's priced at what it should be.
Correct.
I guess it's now it's up to consumers to decide, is that slight price difference, for example, like the B8 versus the Prado, is that, it's just a little bit cheaper than a Prado, but you're getting all this more, extras, all these accessories. It's a bigger car, it's more comfortable, way faster, all the luxury stuff inside, the Devilay speaker system, everything. So and I think they have priced it right. It's pretty much on point. I think maybe they could have moved around, 5% around there, and they might in the future.
Yep.
But I think it's I think the price point is exactly where it should be. They don't want to come in as a cheap Chinese car company. They're trying to position themselves as a premium car company, which they are. And you can't come in cheap doing that. Otherwise, consumers will think it's just, another crappy car.
Exactly. So I think they've priced themselves like, middle in the market. I don't think it's, as you said, it could have been slightly lower, but I think they've done a good job with the pricing. I don't think it's... And everyone keeps comparing it to the BYD Shark. Now, I own a BYD Shark, as everyone knows and has seen it, yeah? Now, everyone's saying, but the B5's, basically, the Shark is based on a Denza B5. However, the two platforms are similar, yes. However, the fit and finish in the vehicle is completely different. You can't compare the materials in a B5 comparing it to a Shark. If you look at all the materials and the soft touch materials throughout a Shark, you've got yes, it's way better than a Ranger or a Hilux, completely different. The step up in materials is a step up again. However, when you go from that over to a Denza B5, the Denza B5, just little things from around the handles, even going from a B5 to a B8, just even the grab handles I noticed, they're wrapped in whether it's faux leather or whether it's leather, the grab handles are trimmed in leather, right? So when you get in and out, it's trimmed in leather, or some sort of leather, whether it's plastic leather or whatever. However, the difference between that and the B8, there's also a step up. So they're both trimmed in leather, but they are the B8 has a soft material underneath the leather, so it makes it more comfortable again on top of the B5. Now that's always your step up in, you know, differences between vehicles, and unless you look at that fine detail, you don't really appreciate it unless you compare apples to apples. So when you're comparing a BYD Shark, for instance, it doesn't have that. It's got grab handles, yes, but they're plastic. So every little addition to the vehicle they make like this, there has to be a price increase at the end of the day. The lockers that you get in your Denza B5, the low range that you get in Denza B5, the additional motor, the upgraded motor that you get in the electronic motor that you get in the Denza B5 to get that higher power output, and also the upgrades that have undergone that to be able to withstand towing 3 ton. So they have made improvements on the B5 versus the BYD Shark. So you can't really compare a Shark to a Denza B5, you know what I mean? So yes, the Denza Shark is an awesome car and it's perfect for everyday use. However, this is a luxury medium-sized SUV, and everyone keeps comparing it to a Prado, and a Prado is a completely different size car. And that's why Everett, that's on the phone right now, has gone for the Denza B8, because he looked at the Denza B5 and he went, you know what, that car's way too small for me. And I agree with him. It is too small for a family or someone that, like, he's always got his kiteboards in the back. So he goes kiteboarding, he wants something that he can fit stuff in there and comfortably. When he takes his mates and they go out in Papua New Guinea, they go out to the bush, you know, he wants to be comfortable and have something space. Also, it's got a fridge inside. Now, if you compare it to, even if we go back to comparing it to Prado, which I hate comparing it to, the Prado, I just had a quick look, right? No models in the Prado come with a locker except for the Altitude. So the Altitude, you're sitting at 93 grand with a rear locker, okay? The Kakadu has an LSD, not even a locker. It's an LSD, a limited slip diff. So if you're a true four-wheel driver, you're gonna go for the Altitude, right? Which is 93,000 plus on road. So you're pretty much, you're in the exact same segment as you are for the Prado. For the Denza B8. So the Denza B8, you're already looking at, you're looking at 97,000. It's actually got a bigger payload as well. So your Prado, you're looking at 615. In your Denza, you're looking at 700 kilo payload with a 3.5 ton tow capacity. So tow capacity is the same. Your payload's bigger in your Denza B8. And it's got like full adjustable air suspension. This is comparing top spec, yeah? This is like twin locked, low range, got a fridge in it. You can open the fridge from the front, you can open the fridge from the back. You've got aircon seats, massage seats. You've got Devillet speakers. You've got a car that will do 0 to 100 in 4.8 seconds versus 0 to 100 in a Prado that will do 11 seconds. So do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, it's completely different. You guys are trying to compare a car that literally is half of everything, right, for the same price. So half of everything, power, performance, you know what I mean? Comfort, luxury, stereo system. It's just, you can't compare it. So then the only other car you can compare like a Denza B5 to would be the Hi4T Tank 300 that's coming. Now, Rico and I both own the Tank 300, the petrol ones, which are great. They've been fantastic vehicles and they're really good off-road. I've crossed the desert. If you haven't checked out the video, go and check it out. We crossed the desert with 150 Tank 300s, right? Great vehicles, massive big cult following in China, because China, believe it or not, has some crazy terrain and some crazy spots you can actually go to, and like deserts and snow and all sorts of things that you would not even have imagined. So they are actually starting to adapt into the four-wheel drive market in China quite heavily. So they are doing touring. Back in the day, they never did that. However, they've adapted quite quickly because Tank is in a brand as a whole in China has done such a well job with having clubs. Some clubs, you know, in some areas have 7,000 members in one city. 7,000 for Tank 300s, it's insane. So the Hi4T I drove in Melbourne recently, a couple of months ago at the Lang Lang testing ground, was a really good car. But once again, you're comparing a different car to a different car. So in my opinion, Denza B5 is, it's a different vehicle. So you buy it based on what you're going to be doing with the vehicle. A Hi4T, in my opinion, will probably be a little bit better. And from watching Chinese social media, it does do a little bit better. And speaking to my fellow four-wheel drivers in China, the Denza B5 is not quite as good as the High 4T series in the tanks, okay? So the tank series in the High 4T, they do really well off-road. They got lockers like conventional transfer case, your gearbox, everything. So the Denza B5 has got lockers and it has got a low range, but it's done differently. It's got magnetic lockers, and they aren't, I wouldn't say they're a step down in capability. However, on-road driving dynamics of the vehicle, in my opinion, is way better. So a B5 is superior. It's like driving an EV, right? So if you ever drove in an EV, it's so smooth and refined, okay? You jump on a High 4T or any High 4T, like we've got an Alpha High 4T as well, you've still got that, it feels like an ICE vehicle being an electric car, okay? So it's trying to be an electric car, but it's not, all right? Now the Denza series is not, all right? The Denza series, the DMO system is very similar to the High 4Z in China, which we do not get yet, okay? And until that model comes here, you can't compare the DMO system to the High 4T system. Completely different. High 4Z, if that comes to Australia, then we will be, in the market for comparison. You can compare the two. Now, I reckon the Denza series sits in its own little segment because there is no other vehicle on the road right now that is an SUV plug-in hybrid twin locked, okay? You look at a Prado, you can't even get that. It's a mild hybrid. It's absolute, in my opinion, absolute disaster. So they've got a massive, you and Everett, you and Papua New Guinea, you guys don't actually get this model because you guys get the different series. You don't have the mild hybrids because you don't have the emissions in PNG that you need to apply to. So you guys don't get the one with the battery step up, the massive big lip in the back of the battery of the Prado is insane. Like, because they've tried to put a tiny little battery that does, honestly, it's like, it just kicks it in the guts from like 0 to 5 Ks an hour. And then like, that's basically what it does just to get you off the line and get you moving. So you don't feel that waiting for the combustion engine to connect. That's all they've done it for. It's just for that initial like 1-2 seconds of go, right? And 0 to 100 time makes a difference by about 0.2 of a second, roughly. You know what I mean? So you're not getting any benefits of having that electronic system except for you've just lost all your boot space due to having this stupid battery underneath the flooring. So you just can't compare it. Like going through that, I mean, Everett, you haven't even seen the Denza B8 in the flesh, but like going through it yesterday, just all of the features, you've got one-touch buttons on the screen so you can do like recline all seats, so you can have a nap in the car. There's just so much tech and so much features that it's like comparing a Nokia 3210 to a new phone. It honestly is. Like going into a Prado is like a Nokia 3210 and then taking it down to E&E and getting some like upgraded keypads and fancy lights on it and then going, there's your phone. Mate, yeah, that was cool back in like 2000s, yeah, early 2000s, but now we're in 2025, so 2026. So
this is what I wanted to mention about the Prado, right? Firstly, the Toyota Prado and PNG, because of duties, it lands at 175,000 Australian dollars.
Yeah,
so it's absolute joke for what you're getting.
Yeah, but
I've been in them here, and honestly, it feels like going into the Stone Age, like in the new Prado.
Yeah.
Like all you get is Android touchscreen, great, and Apple AirPlay. That's like it basically. Those are the upgraded features.
Yeah.
You get in it.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at the B8, and all the videos and everything. And look, honestly, the only thing you can really compare it to is, I think, a Range Rover Sport. And the B5 is similar to, a Defender.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Everyone keeps comparing it to a Prado, but
interior,
100%.
It looks the same quality, but actually the Denza just has more features, right?
More features, yeah.
Everything they've done, they've doubled your expectation.
And you guys,
Chevrolet speakers is mental.
You guys have got a new Range Rover Sport, yeah? You guys have got a new Range Rover Sport, yeah? Which was, you said you paid 180,000 for it. You said right now in the market, because you bought it during COVID and it took like, a year and a half, 2 years to come.
Yeah.
By the time you got it, that car was now worth on the market 220 to buy new, correct?
Yeah.
So ridiculous. So if you wanted to buy that car now, 220 grand, it's got a very similar fit and finish inside. The screen is half the size, doesn't have the power of the B8. It's got all your aircon seats. Does it have massage seats?
No,
No massage seats. It's got
captain seats.
It's got no captain seats.
Doesn't have auto detection suspension system.
Yeah, DC suspension doesn't have any of that tech. So yes, it's got soft closed doors and everything. So that's what I think that's where, you know, like, you guys got to understand that, like, they own a Range Rover Sport, you know, a $200,000 car, and comparing it apples and apples is like, that's pretty much what it's going to be compared to. Not comparing it to a Prado, because Prado hasn't got a car that compares to it. I'm sorry, a Toyota doesn't have a car. If you want to compare it to Lexus, well then yeah, there you go. Compare it to a Lexus. Don't compare it to a Toyota, because it ain't no Toyota. If you want to compare a Toyota, you compare Toyota to BYD, 100%. And don't worry, because BYD has got something coming up its sleeve, obviously, that everyone's probably seen, that's going to be a Prado killer, because it's going to have the 7 seats and it's going to be at a lower price point. And that's another reason why Denza has to have a luxury vehicle and then something they're going to put from BYD in between. So it's going to be like, I don't know, off the top of my head, they're probably going to price it at around the, you know, 65K mark to take on the Tank 500, because in my opinion, that is, you know, the Tank 500 is a really, really good car. Our other auntie bought one in Papua New Guinea, and she also has a Range Rover in Papua New Guinea, and she literally just swapped it for a Tank 500, and she loves it. It's luxury, and it was at a good price point, and she drove that. What other car did she drive? The Ford Everest. She drove the new Toyota Prado, and she just went, you know what? I'm definitely getting the Tank 500, and I didn't even have to convince her. I actually tried to talk her out of it to get the High 4T model. She ended up buying the normal HEV Tank 500, and she's fine. She loves it. She thinks it's great. It's so quiet. She said it's way quieter than my Range Rover. Obviously, we're comparing it to an older Range Rover, not a new one. But yeah, like, so I think there is, yeah, you're right, Everett. You got to compare it to things like Range Rovers. And I know people go,
yeah, and so it's half the price, right?
Exactly.
Think about everything you're getting for $100 grand or whatever, you know, whatever it is.
Exactly.
It's 103 grand.
Exactly.
You know, like, I don't even know how they make these cars for this price, because that's insane.
Well,
like,
you have spoken about, we have touched base about that. Remember how, like, their automation in their factories are insane and everything's robotic. So there's not a lot of manual labor. Like, if you go to a factory in South Africa, in China, most of the cars are getting assembled by hand, by a person. And obviously human error is massive. So that's how they're cutting costs. They don't have that human error issue, if you know what I mean. Like, they just, they've got a robot that doesn't have sick days, doesn't feeling tired. It's either on or off. Do you know what I mean? So their efficiency is very, very good. And that's why they can produce cars like this. And it's the good thing about a robot is it's so accurate. That's the other thing.
Yeah, and I think there's probably a lot of state money going in capital expenditure to help them with the R&D, right? Which other companies just don't have. So my opinion is, why wouldn't you take the opportunity whilst you have it to buy this car that's so cheap and you're getting so much more for it? Because it won't last. They will eventually put their prices up.
Correct. And then everyone's talking about resale value. You can get more resale value on a Toyota. Yeah, that is correct. You honestly, you will get a better resale value on a Toyota. However, I think that if you're going to buy a car based on resale, well, if you want to go do that, I guess go buy a Toyota. But if you want a luxury car, like any luxury car, an Audi, you go buy an SQ5, you go buy SQ7, you go buy a Range Rover Sport, you go buy a BMW X5, whatever, X8, X7, whatever it is. You go buy any of those cars, the depreciation on any of those cars is going to be probably higher than the Denza series, okay, in my opinion, all right? But you've got to remember, you've just spent 100 grand on a car that is technically the next thing you'd buy would be a Range Rover Sport, which, I mean, spending 200 grand, yeah, you know, like 200 grand versus 100 grand. Yeah, so you've saved 100K. You can take that 100K and go and invest it in something, buy another house and property, and make more money. So, you know what I mean? There's yeah.
It's a trade-off. You need to weigh it up. That's it.
Exactly. You got to weigh it up. You can't just go, oh yeah, but resale on Toyota is better. Yeah, okay. But do you, when you choose things in life, do you choose things on like, oh, I'm just going to settle for that because it's going to hold its value better? Or do you, if you're that person, well then that's fine. You go and do that. But if you buy something because you really like it and you want that experience, and you want that nice house, you want that nice car, and you work really hard, and you want to reward yourself. You know what I mean? Like with a nice vehicle.
For me, I want comfort and convenience.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm after. Obviously, reliability has to come in there.
100%.
And my Prado has to be really reliable.
Yep.
But I think the Denza will be just as reliable. So,
but you said to me your Prado is literally because of the roads you guys drive on, it's not falling to bits, but it's definitely had a hard time, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Like you can hear things rattling in it. So,
everything's rattling in it.
Everything rattles in it.
Yeah, 100%. Now
I've only done 60,000 Ks in 7 years in it.
Yeah, but they've been on PNG roads. PNG roads is like just driving in like the worst conditions full time. So it's just potholes and anyway, the roads are flooded every week. Anyway, it's amazing. Like it's a crazy country. So anyway, so that was a good chat with you. I hope people understand I hope that helps with, I mean, there was a lot more I want to go into, but this video is going to be way too long. We've already been speaking for 25 minutes plus the launch of the vehicle. So a quick summary of the car is, in my opinion, I think you need to go look at it, and you need to go look at a Prado, and you need to look at the details and the fine details of things, because that's what you're paying for, okay? Anything from far can look good on a picture, on a brochure, it can all look good and all look similar. However, when you go touch it, feel the leather, feel the difference in leather between a Toyota and a Denza, feel the materials in it, try and grab the door trim. When you get in the next Toyota, right, where the window goes down, you get your finger, just your pinky, right, and you grab it, and I guarantee you can rip that whole top trim, door trim off, right, if you stick your hands where the window goes down, rip it off, and you can pretty much snap it with your pinky, and I'm not joking. I've got many videos of me nearly snapping door trims in many Japanese cars, including D-Maxes, Rangers, that new BRZX that they just released. I went and had a look at that as well, nearly snapped the door trim off. The guy said, oh, someone must have closed it a bit hard. I said, no, mate, it's built crap. I'm sorry to say, it's built crap. You go and do that with a Denza, you cannot do that. You do that with a Tank 500, you do it with a GWM Cannon from 2020, like my first one, you cannot do that, okay? You have to seriously try and break it. So there's a lot of differences between trim qualities in a lot of these Chinese cars compared to Japanese. So the tables have turned. You go look at GWM a long time ago when the first series came, absolute garbage. The door trims were like paper, all right? So now they've changed. So, and it's attracting buyers that do drive BMWs, that do drive Range Rovers, that do drive all these prestigious cars, that want the hybrid system and the power of these new PHEVs. So anyway, that pretty much sums it up. Thanks for joining us. Everett, anything you want to say?
I think people should go out and buy the Denza. Like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited for you to come, and I think you'll be here next weekend, so I'm going to see if I can get a test vehicle, possibly, maybe do a quick review on it, guys, for you guys before they come out. Anyway, peace out. Have a good one. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us.